Hey guys, how are you today? Hope everybody is okay. Let me see if I can straighten this camera up a little bit. Um, Sorry, it was late in scheduling today, so I don't know how many people will show up. It's okay, but there are no questions out there. Y'all are killing me. Um, hey Joyce, how are you today? What's the weather like out there in Arizona? I'm assuming it might be getting a little cooler. Um, it is here, although we are back in the 80s today. So, hey, Sandra, good to see you. Hey, Cindy, I will be up in Michigan in beginning of November, I believe. I think that's when it is, whenever the Novi show is. And hi, Francie, good to see you today. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope all is well in everybody's world and nothing is going too crazy. Let's see if I can slide some programs over to the other side. You're in the upper 90s. Well, that's not too terrible, but it's we are back in the 90s, so we're like in 90. And Deb, I will be in Cape Girardeau starting tomorrow. I guess the actual event starts Friday. Yeah. So we have Heidi's Sewing is having their extravaganza, and it is in Cape Girardeau this year. Hi, I do not know how to say that. Magia? Magia? That one's a hard one to say. Everybody is on YouTube today. There's no Facebook users. That's unusual. That is very unusual. Hello from Amsterdam. Good to see you. Have fun, can't make it. Well, hopefully it will be a good time. Hopefully a good time will be had by all. We always enjoy that. Right after that is Houston. So this is the crazy time of year. We are back to back to back to back of different things that we're going to. So I will be home for less than 24 hours, I believe, before I head off to Houston. So next Tuesday is a no-go. There will be no live next Tuesday because I'll be on a plane headed to Houston because Houston starts Wednesday night. And we have to get set up. So, all right, guys, questions. Pop in, say something. If there's something that's been sticking to your head, you're trying to figure it out. I did have a question last week or this week earlier asking about the decorative fills and did they work in a different version of PEDESIGN. The only version of PEDESIGN that the decorative fill collections work in is PEDESIGN 11. And that's just simply because that's when the feature became available. So that's when we got the feature on the machines and that's when we got the feature in the software. So that's when decorative fills became available. I take that back. We had decorative fills in the Dream Machine, but they didn't give us the ability to create them until PEDESIGN 11, which was the Luminaire. So unfortunately, that is the only one that it can be used in. If you have the Baby Lock equivalent, which would be the Palette 11, they can work there. Machine-wise, where can you use them machine-wise? That would be the Luminaire 3 or a Luminaire that has the third upgrade on it and an Avenir or the Baby Lock equivalent. So that's the only ones that those work on. Trying to think if there's anything else. Well, that is pretty much all that's come through this week. Francie, I'd like some more time in my sewing room as well. I'd like to have a do me kind of project day. A lot of things that I do are on the background, on the back side of things. So it's not necessarily that I'm going to an event when I come back from Houston, but I'm editing videos in the background to get ready. You can't use them in a design on the Dream Machine. So you can, if you created your design in PEDESIGN, then yes, you could use the decorative fills through PEDESIGN 11 and take that resulting design into the Dream Machine. But you can't bring in a custom decorative fill on the Dream Machine, if that makes sense. If I didn't explain that correctly, let me know. But you would have to create your embroidery design in the software, not on the machine itself. What else was I going to say? There was another question that I felt like I should answer for everybody. Let me see if I can find that one. if I can see that one somewhere. If I go into my messages, we'll see. It's taking me a minute. Okay, so the other thing is how to link your Canvas workspaces, how to link your Canvas workspace in Artspira, and I'll show that just to give people an idea how that works. Now, BES4 is a retired product, so they will not upgrade. There will not be an upgrade for that. But I will sit here and tell you that is a brother thing. Brother Japan will not give the people who make our BES software for us. So BES Silver doesn't have it either. They won't give Pulse, which is now Tajima, the code that is available. Am I going to be writing a book for BEembroidery Studio? Probably not. It's possible. If the need is there, it's possible, but Willcom makes that software for us, and they have excellent resources out there for things that you want to do. So, I mean, that's really one of those, I'm not sure that it's a necessary evil to take on because that is a large piece of software. I'm more likely to upgrade the BES4 book for BES Silver sooner than that if I need to. I've got to catch up. I'm just behind on everything. So I've got to catch up before I actually even take on a new project. The Artspira stuff keeps us crazy busy. It's interesting how that works. I mean, we record 1 to 2 times a quarter. So let me see here, Reflector. And between that, I edit the videos, or I'm doing that currently. It changes occasionally. I don't have to, but most of the time I am these days. So that is what I do in the background after stuff. So if y'all don't realize it, there are tons of videos in Artspira. So let me share my screen here. My phone is just about dead. I talked too much today, evidently. Okay, so let me allow, and we'll talk about how to connect your Artspira account. So if you have an Artspira, if you have a Canvas Workspace account, if you want to have everything talk to everything else, this is the easiest way to do it. If you will go under your account settings, you can see where it says account linkage. Can y'all, I guess I need to share my screen. Hold on. That would be helpful for you, wouldn't it? Okay, so if you have Artspira and you have a Canvas Workspace account and you want to link those, if you go down to where it says settings down here, can y'all see let me get my cursor over here. See settings. You tap settings and then you tap your Artspira ID. Actually, all you do is tap settings. Sorry, you don't have to tap Artspira ID. This right here. To link your Canvas Workspace, you would tap that and you would link your Canvas Workspace. So you put your ID in there and then it's going to ask you for your password. And once you've done that, it will be linked. That one, if you're on an iPhone, link your Apple ID. If you're on an Android device, link your Google ID. Because Google and Apple are Apple IDs are the two easiest ways to sign into your account. Okay, I can sit here and tell you that without a doubt, those are the two easiest ways to sign into your account. There are new designs out there. So like we have a new Halloween garland. that's out there, and it's a project in there. And let's see here. It is, let's see if it is a plus. It is not. So this one's free for all users. So this is the Halloween garland can be used for all users. And it is a cutting file. That one's kind of cool. Pumpkins, this is also a cutting file. Let's tap it and say create on it. Oh, those are kind of cute. You also have a new pumpkin file here, and it is, so far I'm pulling up all free. This one's kind of cute. You've got a Halloween spider. That one's a cutting file. I believe there are embroidery files that are free as well that are Halloween. Let's see here, new free embroidery designs. Let's see all. I tell you what, let's go in and look at, let's do our search menu and let's go for Halloween. And then we can filter it. So these are, it shows you whether it's, if you look here, what exactly is that file. So this one is a cutting file. This one is an embroidery file. So it tells you what machine you're going to use based on that little icon there. And as we scroll down, this one's a freebie. If it's got the crown on it, it is a paid version. The cutting file for the spider is free. I know they're free, so let's filter. So I'm going to click this little icon right here, and we'll filter it by membership type, and we will take off Artspira Plus, and we'll apply to free and go from there. So these are the free files that we have out there for Halloween right now. So you have a Halloween pumpkin on both embroidery. You've got it in embroidery and in cutting. That one is also in, I believe it was paid in cutting, but you've got the spider. You've got evidently a duplicate there. Maybe one's bigger size than the other. So these are our new free cutting files. So those, we're getting into older ones there, but the top ones are going to be the newest. And if you look right here on this little icon right here, if you tap that, you can say, where is it? New instead of recommended. And it'll pop up all of the new ones. Oh, those are some cute ones. So this one's a printing. That's a printing. Then you've got two cuttings there. Some more cutting. This pumpkin right here is a printing file. So these are all the newbies, which means you've got some content out there to play with, which is always a fun thing. All right. And if you haven't noticed lately, I think I talked about this, but we now have, where am I going to go? Design Editor. We now have Design Editor, and I know I've done this, monogramming. So if we say go on that, you have monogramming for all three platforms. The first 4 across here are free versions, and the bottom 3 are paid. I believe I'm in embroidery right now. You can choose a frame. The top 3 are free, and the next ones are paid. But I want y'all to know, if you want a frame around your design and you don't like any of the ones there, or you want to see, everybody in Brother World with a wireless machine has frames and shapes built into their machine. So if you don't like the frames that are built in here, or you want to get something that doesn't take as long to stitch, you have frames and shapes on your machine, okay? And if you do that, each frame has anywhere from 10 to 14. So depending on what machine you have, it has from 10 to 14 different styles of a frame. So your circle will have the circle, it will have some ivy, it will have a rope. It just depends on your machine as to which ones you have for the machine. But each of them have those, so you can truly add your own in there. Why did my thing stop sharing? Because I stopped showing. So keep that in mind, and that there are fewer items in the printing. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Share screen. Window. Let me come back. I guess when I stopped sharing it up top, it stopped sharing there. Give it a second. There we go. There we go. Now, I believe I was in the embroidery loop here. Yes. So if I cancel this and discard and I go into new and cutting and printing have fewer text options when it comes to the monogram. But when you touch transform, you touch monogram, you have basically the 4 across the top, and then you have your premium one at the bottom. They still have the same frames, but they don't have as many premium styles. And that is the same, I do believe, whether it's cutting or printing. So that one was cutting. Let's go into printing. We'll tap Design Editor, Text. And yes, I would like to be able to mix and match. So yes, the cutting and printing are the same. Embroidery, you get a couple of extras. So just keep that in mind. Now, the difference is between the premium style. If I touch premium and I say done, you'll notice the editing tools that there's not a text editing tool down here when I choose the premium style. It is the font that it is. If I choose one of the alternate styles, then you'll see the word font down here at the bottom, and you can select any of the fonts that are in here besides the high quality ones. The high quality ones are satin stitch, and they will not allow them to transform. So if I touch in, so let's say I do Atlantic Demi. Oh, it will let me do that one. Just depends on the font, I guess. The ones that say HQ. So I've got to find one that's HQ. Oop. Maybe it's not showing me the HQs. Let's see if it does Miami regular. Yep. Maybe it's not showing us the HQs anymore. So they may have taken that out because we fussed. It looks like it's only showing me items that I can use. Oh, I bet I know why. I am not in embroidery. I am in printing. So I can't use it in I can't use it in printing, but I can use it in excuse me, I can use it in printing, but I can't use them in embroidery. Let's go and touch embroidery. Tap it, transform. So yeah, there's certain fonts are available when you come here. So font. All of the TT, the true types are available, but if I choose the HQ fonts, it will say they cannot be used for embroidery. But on the printing or the cutting side, I do believe we can do it. We tried printing and we can, because it doesn't matter. It's not going to adjust stitches. We tried printing. Let's try cutting. It should let me do it there if it let me do it in printing. So we'll tap and let's see if we pick one of the HQs. Yep. It'll let me do whatever I want to do. Oh, fiddle-dee-dee. Stop. So let's say done. And it does let me, but you'll notice it does not adjust it to look like what I'm thinking it should look like. Oh, well, that's because we didn't do that. There you go. So the only one it bums you, that it knocks you out of, is the embroidery. So the high quality ones can be used for anything besides embroidery, but in embroidery, you're not, any of the ones that are premium or satin stitches, you can't use. It's just not going to let you do it because it does a tatami stitch for them. All right, let's don't save this. Oops, I want to just get out of here. All right, guys, I am ready for some questions here. No joy. Well, let's see what I can pull out of the rabbit out of my head. Let me stop sharing. And let's see here. Okay, let me think. Let's share the screen. And we will talk about screen 2, and let's see what we can do. I'm going to take me off so I don't look at do side information. Okay, let's see here. Let's think. Yes, Patty, in PEDESIGN you have, and in the BES software, you have to manually remove the overlapping shapes in that applique. If we look at it, let's say we put in 2 appliques. We're just going to make 2 hearts here. And I'm going to duplicate it. So if I don't want that part to stitch, I have to manually remove it, which means the first thing I have to do is ungroup the bottom one. And that would be my first one, which would be right here. So I would come and grab my tack down stitches and hit the select point tool and let's zoom in. Right mouse click, split at point, go to the opposite side, right mouse click, split at point, and then you can delete that line, which is right there. So select it, move your cursor in the window, and press delete. Let's do it for the actual covering stitch itself. Select it, select point tool, put a point in on this one, on either side, right mouse click, split at point, right mouse click, split at point. And then come over, grab your little line, grab your select tool, and press delete on the keyboard. Now, if you want those stitches to come up underneath here, you would need to move them. So you would hit your select tool, select point, and then just take these and manually move them. I tend to not worry so much about this. Or the easier way, if you don't want that to happen, let's undo everything and get back to where we were before we started. Let's go back to the beginning of these before we created appliques. Okay, so the easier way, oops, let's undo one more time or 2 more times. The easier way to do that would be to come in and duplicate, move this one down, and then grab them both before you ever turn them into an applique and go to modify overlap, remove overlap. So now you can see if I pull this down, that overlap has been removed from there, but it's still got a double outline. Okay. So now when I go in and I do my applique wizard, you can see that the cutout is there, but this one we need to take out those spots. So let's ungroup. Make sure it's not grouped there, and it's not. So now we can select this. I'm going to take off my show by color order button so that I don't have to keep opening that up. select point, right mouse click, split at this point, and then do the same thing down here. Then you can grab this little guy right here, select it, and delete it. Select point tool, right mouse click, split at point, go to the opposite side, split at point, and now that little hump is ready to be deleted. So all you have, if I hide this one, let's go grab all of these and let's hit the hide button. So now you can see all you've got is your placement stitches, which you would really want your placement and your original tack down, which you do want to be there, because if you don't have it there, you won't know where to place it. So it's always nice to leave those in. And that's the easiest way I can tell you to do that. It is easy. PEDESIGN is very easy to remove the overlap if you just think about what you're doing. If I come in here and if I go to image, oh, not image, let's go to the scan and cut tab and import. I don't know that I didn't think about doing this before. Sometimes y'all ask questions that make me think things through a little bit more. So let's right mouse click and ungroup this, because normally what do? I just take them all and convert them to an applique. But let's say we don't want to do that. So I can grab my shapes tab and I can put a fill stitch on that, and we'll leave that. I'm fine with that being orange, and we'll make these green. We'll make our two leaves green. I'm going to select them over here. We'll change that to green just for now. Then we can grab our nose and let's make it black. And then let's grab the bunny and let's make it, I'm going to make it yellow just so we can see it. Or cream. There we go. And if you wanted to put a circle in the center of your flower, you could do that, but we're just going to go with it the way it is. So let's layer this the way we will want it. This would need to go towards the end. It needs to be at least behind the bunny fill area. Now we can grab it all and we can say modify overlap, remove overlaps. All right. So now all of my overlaps are removed. We can ungroup and we can do applique wizard, have it replace it all. Oops, what did I forget to do? Undo. Select all, applique wizard. Oh, it's not showing me that. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, we're going to take these and make them appliques first. And then we're going to grab this body right here and the nose, and we'll make those an applique. And we want to say create an applique with hole sewing so that everything's where it needs to be. Nope, that's not what I want to do, because I want the nose to be on its own. So this is a case where, no, I want it there. That's good. It's right. And then grab the last piece. So it didn't let me do them all at one time. And why is that? Well, because this was an remove and overlap thing. So it could not let me do that whole sewing for this because I had multiple things selected. So let's change our colors of our items so we kind of have an idea of what we got going on. We'll make that yellow. And my leaves. Green. And my flower orange. So this is slightly different than what I've had you do in the past. Yellow. Okay, we'll make that one yellow too. Right now, so let's come in and zoom in. And let's grab our covering stitches. So we have to ungroup everything. That's the first thing. Now all of my pieces are ungrouped. And let's go select point. And we can right mouse click right here, split at point. Go to the opposite side. I may want to get a little closer here, a little tighter. I'm going to add a point right here because I don't want it to not get covered. Split at point. And now we've got that little piece right there. And we can delete it. So that's the tack down. Now let's get its covering. I'm going to once again add a piece right there and split it at point right there. And let's go to the opposite side. Where is it? Way down. Now you've got your little piece. Select it and delete. Let's grab the other ear. And I'm going to put a little dot right there, and then I'm going to split this one at point and do the same thing right here so it's tucked under a little bit. If I left it the way it was, it wouldn't be tucked in enough. So let's come find it. There's my little piece that I want to get removed. Select it and delete it. And we'll do the same thing for the tack down on that one. I want to split it right here. I'm going to add a point right there and split it right there. And then we'll select it and delete. And the last part of that would be the flower. So the flower would be, we want to do the leaves would be the part that's underneath. So you're always looking, what is the underneath part? I'm going to put a dot right there, a point, split a point, and I'm going to put one right there. And we'll select it. Where's my little niblet? Move the cursor in, delete. And let's do the last one. This part. And the only reason I'm adding those points is so that I don't have a gap. If I didn't add the point, I would get a gap right here. Now see how it's tucked underneath there? That's the only reason I add that point. And select it, select pattern, delete, and go one more. Last one. And then everything should be with no overlaps. Or none that I don't want. There you go. So now that is a way that I've not done in the past. But thinking about it, it makes sense. It makes more sense to do it that way than the way that we've done it in the past. If you really want to get fussy, you can come in and grab your covering stitch for, where's the other side of the ear? For this side. And you can go to convert to stitches. And then you can do your select point tool and you can move some stitches in so that they are not sticking under so much. But that depends on how fussy you really want to get. And those are your tiles right there. So you can see if I change, let's change that color so y'all can see. We'll make that black for right now. Select. And let me find it. We'll change that color to black so you can see what I did. So now see how it's going underneath there, but not totally sticking way out underneath here. Before it was sticking straight down here. So if you convert it to stitches, you can then edit those edit points. You have the ability to move them, but you got to keep in mind, you want to keep them somewhat straight as you go. Okay. All right, guys. And then we started with an FCM file, remember? So you would think that you could just go with the same FCM file, but what did we do? We removed a bunch of overlaps. So in that case, you want to grab the pieces that are your applique material. And if we look, that's applique material. So I'm going to hold my control key down and grab all of my, applique materials. Why do I have two noses? Did I somehow duplicate? Let's try this again. Applique materials. And we may have to do this individual pieces, but I don't think so. We'll see. Oh, we don't want to import. We want to export. Take it down to nothing. And now you can see your pieces are there. That's the running stitch. So let's send that to, we'll just save this as an FCM and see what it looks like. Let me come into this PC and let me go to my data drive and let's do Cindy Facebook Lives, or Facebook Live Cindy. We'll call this Bunny 4. Okay, let's open up Canvas Workspace and see what we've got. This will tell us whether we need to send them individually. Give my Canvas Workspace a second to pop up. Yeah, come on. I love my firewall. Have to be persistent, guys, especially when you know it's the firewall. So now let's go here and go File, Import from my computer, and let's see here, Facebook Live Cindy, it's Bunny 4. And let's see what we've got. So yes, you can send them all out at one time and then organize them in the color you need them to be. And they will be the perfect size. That is the beauty of doing it in PEDESIGN. You do not have to make sure, you don't have to add an offset. It's going to be the perfect size. So, all right, guys. Other questions? We could, I mean, there's, if you, where's my cursor? There it is. Let's close that. And let's just hit File New. In your import menu, if you go to outline shapes, and let's say we do events, I think it is. There are all kinds of things in here, guys, that you can play with that are items that are already drawn. So if we come in this one, let's say we wanted to make this into an applique. What I would do is grab all of these windows and select them, and I would turn a color on, and we'll change that color to black. Now you should be able to grab the whole kit and caboodle, applique wizard. Nope, not gonna let me do that. So let's grab it all and let's go to modify overlap and let's cancel whole sewing for this. Now let's see if it'll let me do this. Nope. Okay, so undo. Why are you being ornery? I know. Let's select that. There we go. Create an applique. So I did this number right here. I selected everything, and when I went into the applique, oops, wrong button, applique wizard, my little applique, create an applique with a hole in it, was not there. That's because I picked everything. So let me click off and let's click on that outside right there. Now hit the applique wizard. Now we can hit it. And that should be correct. But we truly don't want applique with hole in it. So it would have been fine the other way. So we will go back to the select all method for this one. And it should work the way I want it now. Let's see here. No, you're going the wrong direction. Okay. So I'm trying to get this to where the applique piece is in the correct direction. So let's go and cancel whole sewing. Now let's select it all. Now you see how those stitches are going towards the outside edge of that. That means your covering stitch will cover your applique pieces. If I had left them inside here, it's assuming that you're not putting a piece of fabric in here. So it depends on whether you want to put a piece of fabric in or not. So that is up to you. If I were not putting a piece of fabric in here, I would undo and I would undo. And I would go ahead and do the applique with whole sewing because I want you to see the difference where that placement stitch ends up. In this method, it's catching the fabric that's underneath here. So see how the placement stitches and the tack down stitches are inside? It's catching this fabric, not anything that's in here. So this method assumes you're leaving a hole right here. All right. The other way that we did it, undo twice. My baby's talking to me here. There you redo, and let's cancel whole sewing. So if I hit the applique wizard this time, and I don't choose an applique with a hole in the center of it, but I had to cancel the whole sewing, you'll see how now it's looking like it knows you want to put a piece of fabric in here. So your covering stitch will cover those fabric edges. That is the difference between the two. Okay, guys, I'm coming back over here and seeing if there's anything else that you have, any other questions you have for me today. But I do like being able to pull some stuff out of my library because it's quick and easy and ready to go. You don't have to actually create your own embroidery design from scratch. It's already there for you to start with and go play with. All right. If there is nothing else for me today, then I am going to say goodbye because I've got lots to do before I leave tomorrow. And I mean, I've put it on the cuff as far as I can. The only other thing I could do here is give you a decorative fill around it. So we can do that. Hold on. We'll select I'm going to Control M to move that to the middle. And then what hoop size are we in? 10 5/8 by 10 5/8. That's pretty good. Background fill wizard. Tell it where you want it to go. And then you can choose your decorative fill. So if I come in. Let me find my cursor and pull this over here. And let's see here. Let me go to my drive. D drive. Fall decorative fills. There we go. Fall collection 1. Decorative fills. Here we go. So let's say I wanted to put, oh, bats would be good in that one. Let's do the bats. You can choose how big you want them to be. Let's say we want them to be 5. We can update the preview. So now I've got them 5 inches. If you want them bigger than that, you can do 6. So now you've got 6 inches, and you can say, okay. And there you go. So now your hoop is filled with your decorative fill. If you want to play with that decorative fill, touch your select point tool and tap this, and then you can adjust this to see where you can get bats better. So if I want a bat coming off of this part of the house, I have a bat right there. And you can adjust it till it's where you want it to be. You can bring them down, you can take them up. This is allowing you to shift the position of them. Amanda, yes, there are video tutorials that you can watch. Let me see if I can open up my BE Studio. It is a coffee loader, so give it a minute to start. Let's see if I'm logged in here or logged in the other computer. I'm not. Oops, I must be logged into the other computer. Oh. Hold on, I gotta find my password. Well, that was not what I thought it was at all. Okay, now it's loading. Give it a sec. Thanks, Cindy. So guys, next live will be in 3 weeks. No, 2 weeks. So think about some questions for me. That would be very, very helpful. Think about some questions. Think about those things that you've been burning to know. Amanda, if there's something you want to know about BEembroidery Studio, you can always ask. I won't say I know the answer, but that one I'm not comfortable with enough yet to just say I can answer it on the fly, because I have to think. That one's one I have to truly think about. Hold on. You're kidding me. Hold on, guys. I've got to hit Task Manager. I've got to close it because it wanted to do something and I didn't let it do it. The BEembroidery Studio is a new program Cindy from Brother. Wilcom makes it for us. It's more along the commercial lines. It's the decorator version with some new features in it. There's some features that we've thrown in with ours. So Susan, you're probably going to need to rewatch because we are just about done for the day. But good to see you. Thanks for joining. Let's see if it's going to open now. Yes, it has finally. It's opening. Give it a sec. I want to show you where the tutorials are. When you install it, usually it starts sending you emails on how to. Yeah, they could if they've played with it. That is if they've played with it. I think you can download a test of it, but if you look here in the help section. If you go to help and you go training and how-to videos, let me pull this over so you can see it. If you click on watch videos, and their blog is good as well, you want to choose where whatever, I don't care, anything with the decorating version. Okay, so but what they will send you, so embroidery reinforcement stitches and embroidery, that would be one to watch. Simple embroidery digitizing, that would be one to watch. The Welcome Embroidery, let's see here. Go to their embroidery studio, and you're not looking for, it's the decorator version. So this one right here. So getting started videos. But that's your first line of defense. That's where I would go to begin. Oh, did you see what I didn't share my screen there? So it will, evidently I didn't share my screen. Let me pop back over here. You go up to help, training and how-to videos, and then this pops up. Okay, and you choose watch videos, and then you go down here to Embroidery Studio, or right here, Welcome Embroidery Studio. Getting started would be where I would start. That is your best route to start. Cindy, it is. I don't know what retail price is on it, but I mean, we have a couple of things added, like 3 reef stitch, hand stitch effect, and photo that's been added in there. That's an add-on to our decorating that their version doesn't have. Their decorating version doesn't have. You can add it on to theirs, but it's more expensive than just buying our package. So not sure how they came up with that, but that's what they've done. So, all right, guys, if there's nothing else, I am going to say goodbye for today. Thanks for joining me. Be sure to think of questions to send to me before next week. And if it's a BE Studio one, not before next week, I'll be gone next week, but before the week after that, be sure and let me know. I will be doing a Brother Sews Live on the 14th, I believe it is. So I'm back. we'll be deep diving into the monogramming, whereas I just kind of touched it with you today. But on the 14th, I'll be doing Artspira with monogramming on the Brother Sews Live that day. And I think that's about it. Okay. All right, guys. Y'all have a great rest of the day. And Fran, it will be available upon replay when I'm done, when we click out. So, all right. Y'all have a great rest of your day and have fun. Bye-bye. Bye, Patty. It was good to see you virtually. It's been a while. Bye-bye, guys.